Hey everyone, welcome to a new series of SQL interview questions and answer. In this playlist, you will find all the SQL queries commonly asked in interviews across different companies. I have collected these queries from various platforms. So, practicing them will take you one step closer to cracking any SQL interviews. Make sure to watch all the upcoming videos in this playlist. Before we dive into today's videos, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get a notification for upcoming videos. So let's start the video. Today's problem statement is write a query to rearrange the product table so that each row contains product ID, store and price. If product is unavailable in a store, do not include a row with that product ID and store combination in the result table. Note, return the result ordered by store in ascending order. Here is the sample table which we need to rearrange like this. We can achieve this result using three different methods. First method is using a union and order by. Second method is using union, case statement and order by. Third method is using union, case statement, cross join and order by. We will cover each method one by one. First, let me jump to MySQL Workbench to create this sample input table. Let me start by selecting a database where I want to store the table using a use command. So let me execute this one, and I want to drop the table if it is already exists in this database using drop table if exist, and we have to mention the table name, that is product. Okay, so let me execute this one, and using this create script I will create a table product where product ID is a primary key and store 1, store 2 and store 3. These are the columns which contain the price of the product in respective store. Okay, and let me execute this one, and using insert command I will insert all the records into this product table. So let me execute this one, and finally this is the table. Okay, now let's solve the problem using a first method, that is using a union and order by. Okay, so these are the steps which we are going to follow. So basically we will select the records from each store one by one. Once all the records are selected from each store, we will combine them using a union operator. So here union is a set operator which combines the result of one or two select queries and generate a single table. Okay, once a table is generated, we will order them in ascending order of a store column. Okay, so let's solve. First one is select product ID and store 1 from product table. Okay, so let me execute this one. As you can see, we are getting all the records for store 1, but the thing is, in our output table there are three columns. One is product ID, second one is store. Okay, but in our input table there is no store column, but we can derive it using a store 1 column. How? I will put this store 1 in a single quote and give alias as store. Okay, so what it will do, it will create a store column and manually inside that column it will store value as a store 1. Okay, now I want a price column, but in our table, that is in our input table, we don't have a price column, but price are listed in a store 1 column. So what I will do, store 1 as price. Okay, so let me execute this one. As you can see, we are getting all the columns and all the record for store 1, but we are getting a null values, but they mentioned that we don't want a null values. So what I will do, I will use filter, that is where condition where store 1 is not null. Okay, now let me execute this one. Yeah, this is our required output for store 1. In similar way, we will write a query for store 2 and store 3. So let me copy this and paste here. Okay, and change the store 1 to store 2 here also, and lastly here also. Okay, and for store 3, store 3, store 3, and store 3. Okay, now let me execute all tables or all select queries. Okay, as you can see, we are getting a separate tables for store 1, store 2, and store 3, but we want to combine all these select queries and generate a single table. So what I will do, I will use a union here, union, and here also union, and now let me execute this query. Okay, as you can see here, we are getting our desired table. Okay, that is product ID, store, and price. And here store is already sorted in a ascending order of store names, but you can use a order by, it's up to you. Okay, so order by store in ascending order. So let me execute this one. Yeah, this is our output from method 1. Okay, now we will solve this problem using a second method, that is by using a union, case statement, and order by. Second method is similar to a first method, only the change is in order to create a store column we are going to use a case statement. How we can do that, let's see. Okay, so first step is we will select all the records for store 1. So select product ID, okay, sorry, product ID, comma, here in order to create a store column I will use a case. How? Case when store 1 column is not null. Okay, then I want stu store 1. Okay, and end as store. Okay, and lastly I want price column. Okay, so price, but price is not present in our input table, but price are listed in a store 1 column, so I will use store 1 as price. Okay, from which table? From product table. Okay, so let me execute this one. As you can see, we are getting all the records for store 1, but we are also getting the null record. I don't want that, so I will use where to filter the null record, where store 1 is not null. Okay, so let me execute this one. Yeah, as you can see, we are getting a desired output for store 1. In similar way, we will write a query to get a record from store 2 and store 3. So let me copy this and paste here and replace store 1 by store 2. So this is also store 2, here also, and lastly here also. Okay, and finally we will do for store 3. Okay, and this is store 3, this is store 3, store 3, and this is store 3. Now let me execute all the records. As you can see, we are getting all the desired records for respected stores, but I want to combine all the records and generate a single table. How we can do that? We are going to use a union operator. So here union, and here also union, and let me execute now. As you can see, we are getting the desired output. It's up to you whether you are going to use order by or not, because already store column is sorted based on the store names. Okay, even though I will use it. Okay, store by, order by, store store in ascending order. So let me execute. Yeah, this is our final output from method 2. Now we will solve the problem using a third method, that is by using a union, case statement, cross join, and order by. And these are the steps which we are going to follow. So first one, we will create a table which contain all the store names, and we will join that table with the input table using a cross join. okay, which will result in a Cartesian product of both tables, and on that table we will apply a filter, and finally we will order the table in ascending order of our stores. So how we can do that, let's see. So first step is we will create a store column. So how, select store 1, okay, as store. Okay, now I want to union this one, union select store 2, okay, and lastly union, and copy this and paste here and replace it by store 3. Okay, this is our store table. Okay, let me show you. Okay, which contain all 3 stores. Okay, now I want to join this store table with the input table. Okay, how we can do that? So for that I want to put this into a bracket. Okay, and I want to give name. Okay, now it will become virtual table. Okay, so now I will use here select star from, sorry, from product fee, and here we have to use a cross join. Okay, so cross join doesn't need any join condition. Okay, so let me execute and show you. Okay, as you can see, the cross join resulted in a Cartesian product of both table, that is input table and the table which we created, this one. Okay, now on this table we need to apply a filter. How we can do that, let's see. So as we know that our desired output must contain a 3 column. So first one is product ID, and second one is store, and we know that we have listed all the store names in this virtual table, that is v. So I will get that one by using a v dot store. Okay, now third column is price, but we don't have a price column in a product table. So what I am gonna do is I will use a case statement here. How, let's see, case on v dot store. Okay, so when v dot store column contains store 1. Okay, so store 1, then give me p dot store 1. Okay, similarly I will do for store 2 and store 3. Okay, so copy. Okay, here store 2 and store 2, here store 2, sorry, 3, and this is store 3. Okay, and I want to end this one as price. Okay, so let me execute now and show you what happens. As you can see, we are getting a 3 column product ID, store and price, but still we are getting a null values. We have to filter that. How we are gonna do that, let me show you. Okay, so we cannot use price column directly in a where clause because it is created by case statement. So what we can do is we can copy this entire case statement and use it in a where clause, where case end is not null. Okay, so let me execute this one. As you can see, we are getting the desired output. So, and final step is we are going to use order by store, and store is present in a virtual table, that is v dot store. Okay, and in ascending order. So let me execute this one, and as you can see, we are getting a desired output using a third method also. Okay, so in this video only this much, guys. If you really like this video, then please do subscribe, like and share this video. Thank you so much for watching this video.